Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well. I hope you can hear me. I hope we don't have any kind of technical problems on this show like we had last time. I'm just going to share it. Let's just put it on Twitter and on Facebook. There we go. And Facebook. There we go. Won't take a moment. Hope you can all hear me. I did select the right. There we go. Go to Facebook. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me all right? Hope so. Hopefully there'll be no technical bombs. I just want to say hello to everyone, first of all. Let the numbers build. I've just shared it. 23 people watching right now. David Schultz, thank you for joining us all the way from Maine, USA. Darren Retro, good day, everyone. Good day. Last Wave Dave. 30 RTR 30. Woody Black. Hello, Woody. Glad you can make it, man. I'm glad you were. I saw your comment. I'll go through those in a minute. There's toilet rolls. Yes. Woody Black stuff. Did you get into any trouble? Oh, did you see those two? Well, it's more than two. There's a whole group of women fighting in Australia. Did you see that? Oh, it's funny. Yeah, 30 RTR 30 says the virus confuses me to Fook. Yeah, it does me too, 30. It does me too. I don't have all the answers tonight. I mean, there's not going to be much of a lead off either because it's all up in the air. Everything's happening very, very quickly. But hello above the law. It's propaganda. Israel Diego Rivera 2 Genius 2. Trump British Bigfoot. No, coronavirus is a Masonic fraud. All right, he's graduated from Israeli to Masonic now. All right, is that more serious? I think it is than Israeli. Masonic is much more serious than Israeli, I think. Darren Retro says, yeah, I'll just say hello to everyone. Lime Specs, and who else is there? Oh, hello, everyone. We have Pat Riot, Darren Hesmond Hole, that's a good name. Lofty, Last the Famous International Playboys. It's a great song by Morrissey. Dave Keith, Xavier Smith, Ben Grizzly, Vince G. Tina, hello, Tina, how are you? Hugo Rune, greetings, Hugo. Glad you got here as well. Richard Kinzet and Luke Griffin. And I'm glad you can hear me, all of you. Hello, everybody. Diego Rivera, I'm not on the toilet anyway. I should warn you, I'm not actually I'm actually feeling a bit under the weather. Yeah, and I think my time might have come. I don't know. But I've been feeling very fluey the last couple of days. I mean, I haven't had a big cough, so I'm not actually in the middle of getting ready for disaster to strike. But I do. I mean, it's possible I've got it now. If I have got it, I'm not going to panic, but I'll just go through that anyway. But David Schultz asked if Boris Johnson has got the bug. Well, Nadine Dorries might have given it to him. Did you see that? Nadine Dorries has it. Now, Nadine Dorries, ironically, is the health secretary. And so she's the one managing the entire thing. And she's got it. I think she's probably given it to Boris. She's probably given it to the entire cabinet. I mean, I think they just had the budget. Do you think the government might have to take time off? Do you think the government are going to have to self-isolate? Parliament might be shut. I mean, that would be quite something, wouldn't it? Hello, everyone. Anyway, Darren Retro asked, do you think this is a mild test case for the big bioattack that may be planned in the future? Quite possibly, Darren. Now, people have said that this is a bioweapon, the coronavirus is a bioweapon. It can't be. It's not deadly enough. But it might be a dry run. This might be sort of like an exercise using a less harmful bacteria. This was actually done in 1955 in San Francisco. Do you remember what happened then? The government actually sprayed the entire city with a soil bacteria, apparently a harmless soil bacteria. It causes mild cold-like symptoms in people. And the point was just to see, it was an experiment to see how far a biological, like a deadly biological weapon would spread, how it would spread, because this is highly infectious bacteria. Anyway, it was all a big cock-up because in the end about 5 people died. This harmless soil bacteria, and the government was in terrible trouble. They carried out a non-consensual experiment, basically a test on the people of that city. So quite possibly, you could bet, right, that this is being watched Whether or not it was created in a laboratory or not, and I will come on to that because I've got some pages I want to go through. I don't actually have a lead off as such, but I've got some pages I want to bring up during the course of this discussion. But there's no doubt that whether or not this was engineered, people are going to be using it in a opportunistic way. So, for example, if this is a completely natural disease that just happens to have appeared in China, it's odd how these always appear in China, isn't it? All of them, SARS, swine flu, all the others, they all come from China. Avian flu is from China as well. They're going to be watching to see, firstly, how it spreads in the population. Secondly, how the population responds to it, and the way it's portrayed in the media. And that's a very important point. Because honestly, I mean, maybe I've got it. I mean, I can dial if I start getting more obvious symptoms, I'll dial 111 and get myself tested. All you have to do is spit into a bottle and they test you. But I'm hoping. I mean, to be honest, do you remember all the fuss about swine flu? Do you remember my swine flu diary? I must remember. I did actually have swine flu back in 2009, and I will just place it in the description box. Just one moment. No, not that one. Because I'll forget. If I don't do it now, I'll just forget. Hang on. I'll put it here. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Won't be a sec. I've got the heater on. I might have to switch it off if it gets too hot in here. Just to let you know. There we are. Swine flu diary. See here for additional background. Yeah, because I actually got swine flu in 2009, and if you remember from my swine flu diary, which you can actually watch, or wait till this live stream's over, obviously, but videos, live stream, I survived. I'm still alive. Here we are, details. I came through it, and it was actually not much worse than your normal flu. Actually, it really was not much worse than that. But I kept a swine flu diary during the time that I actually had it. So that's an important point, because if you look at it, it's like we're all doomed. It's like we're all doomed. Look at the news today. This is the news. Sunak pumps billions into economy to combat coronavirus. This is the budget that's just happened. Oddly enough, he was carrying this box which turned green. And now my friend David on Facebook just pointed this out to me. He was carrying like the red box, which is it's just like a parliamentary dispatch box. At least he's got a new one now, because they used to use the same old scruffy one for years, just a tradition. Anyway, Rishi Sunak unveiled £30 billion package to boost the economy, suspending business rates, stuff like that. Anyway, as I said, he may very well be self-isolating soon, because if Nadine Dorries has got it, Boris has probably got it. It'll all catch it. I mean, it has a factor. It has a transmission factor of 2.8. Right now, this is the number. 2.8 is like how infectious it is. Flu, I think, is 1.3. Your cold is like about 2.4. So this is even more infectious than colds. It incubates for very long periods, up to a month. It can incubate. So if I got it now, I probably picked it up a month ago. What we're seeing now could well be things that basically were infected a month ago, and so I mean, I may well be going around infecting people in all that time, and there's nothing you can do. I don't know. There's no way you can stop it. You can know for sure. I don't think there is I don't know if there's a pre-symptomatic test. I'm not sure. But I've got some pages up I can look at. But there's all kinds of things here we have now. The World Health Organization has declared this a pandemic, an official pandemic. Number of cases in Europe continues to rise, with more than 10,000 in Italy. I mean, Italy's really been hit badly by this. They're now on. I mean, my heart goes out to people. I know I've got viewers in Italy. My heart goes out to you guys. I hope you'll be all right. I really, really do. Forza Italia, things like that. Unless you're playing Wales in the rugby, of course. I don't know why it's so concentrated in Italy. Iran is the same, and now Iran and Italy have both shut all their schools. They're really in a particular serious. Germany's Angela Merkel says 60 to 70% of the country's population could become infected. Merkel doesn't even know, doesn't even keep track of the bloody country's population. She's got like a revolving door on the borders, so I don't know how she can possibly know that. Chancellor unveils 15 billion pack. It's 50. It's gone up to 30 billion now. Yeah. UK Health Minister Nadine Dorries is among the 456 cases in Britain. Yeah. Spread in China slows. That's it. Beijing to quarantine all international arrivals. So if you're going to China, you're going to have to be quarantined and probably have to be tested. Mind you, the problem more is going out of China rather than in. They should be quarantining departures, not arrivals. But then, of course, they're concerned about their own country, which is understandable. More than 1,000 confirmed cases in the UK where major events have been cancelled. Yes, unfortunately, including Awakenings Manchester, which is very, very sad. I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. I've also noticed several people have mentioned this. What happened to the protesters in Hong Kong? They've all gone, haven't they? I'm sure they did. I'm sure China didn't bring this virus out or whatever happened simply for that reason. But it seems awfully convenient, doesn't it? Stock market slide. Yeah, I covered this on Third Rail Radio yesterday. The US, they lowered interest rates, and then there was a massive crash on the stock market, which is to be expected. Uganda is also imposing quarantines for visitors. So if you go to Uganda, you'll get treated the same way. Oh my God, there's people in the United States dressed in like proper gear. I mean, like when I was in London, I saw people wandering around with like the paper surgical masks. And indeed, the manufacturers have been selling them to individuals. Normally, their customers are all hospitals and surgeries. And now they're just selling them to individuals who are ordering packets of them. And the manufacturers are only too happy to oblige. But unfortunately, they don't actually protect you from airborne viruses. They're designed for operations. They're designed to protect a patient with an incision from bacteria on your breath. They're not designed to protect you from airborne viruses. If you want protection from airborne viruses, you have to have one of those big, more robust rubber things they were using in the Ebola scandal, with especially also some goggles for your eyes. I used to wear these things when I was a porter. Yeah, it's old soy boy Trudeau is talking about the situation in Canada. Apparently, they've had like a death in Canada. Trevor was telling me, and his mini-me or clone Macron in France is going all crazy. He's got martial law there. He can do what the hell he likes. Oh my God. The pandemic label, what does it mean? A pandemic is when an infectious disease spreads easily from person to person in many parts of the world. So there you are, yeah. The H1N1 swine flu outbreak, which killed hundreds of thousands of people, was declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization in 2009. Well, did it kill hundreds of thousands? I mean, I got it, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, the thing about it is it's not just the disease itself, because the Spanish flu. Now, this was 100 years ago, but Spanish flu ravaged the entire world in the wake of World War I, and I think about 18 million people died in the end, which is more than were killed in the war. Yet it was H1N1. It was the same as swine flu. Now, the reason it may have done so much more damage than the 2009 one did is because basically people generally are healthier. People are healthier. People are more robust because we have proper food and things like that, at least in this country. I mean, in 1918 to 1920, when this really struck hard, economies were devastated, infrastructure was devastated because of the bloody war that had been going on for 4.5 years. And that may be why it claimed more lives. Anyway, I'll go back to you, guys in chat. I'll try to get to all your comments today. I'm sorry you are confused. 30 RTR 30. I'm confused because there's several different stories going around. Some people say that this is global. This is like a biological warfare attack on the world. Others are saying, oh, it's nothing, and it's actually being blown out of proportion deliberately for the purposes of psychological warfare. And when I saw those birds in Australia in a supermarket fighting, I mean, it was pathetic. I mean, they were literally, what happened was one group of women had like a shopping trolley and they piled it up with toilet paper. But there's loads of toilet paper memes. Have you seen them? Indiana Jones, with the sack of sand, and there's a bog roll, and there's Gollum going, "My precious," and it's a toilet roll. I'll tell you what, I wish I was still a porter, because you know what I'd be doing right now? I'd be getting the hand sanitizers, and these hand sanitizers are everywhere in hospitals. There's bottles of them all over the place. I'd be grabbing them and I'd be selling them on the streets for 50 quid a pop. I really would. And I bet you some damn porter is doing that. I bet you they are. trust a porter to do something like that. Darren says, who's to gain from this? I wonder if some dodgy stock traders type folk have been pushed this so the stock market crashes and they can buy up tons of stock at a knockdown price. They're probably not. That's probably not the people who did it, Darren. But you can bet they are. They are buying up the stock at a knockdown price. Yes, you could bet a lot of them are investing in toilet roll manufacturers and the hand sanitizer manufacturers. People who make the surgical masks, these ones which are actually no good. They don't actually protect you. But people are buying them. Someone's gonna buy those shares, aren't they? Because they're going to skyrocket. Oh man, you see, the stock market crash that's happening at the moment is. I am feeling a bit under the weather, but that could easily be just maybe thoughts and feelings. And Diego Rivera, hello, Lime Specs, how are you? Darren Retro, is this being pushed by big pharma to get a ton of cash? You say bug pharma. I don't know. Is that a spelling mistake? Because it may be a Freudian slip. Because bug pharma is that's a good way of putting it. Maybe even sponsored by Andrex. Yes. Hello, Lime Specs. How are you? And Diego Rivera, the military drill for some bigger ones to come. Darren Retro, the nation's bottoms have never been cleaner. Lime Specs says, Ben, don't go all doom and gloom on this. Yeah, I'm not, Lime Specs. It will be fine. It's not apocalypse, no. I mean, if you watch my zombie talk, you'll know that I covered this. Like, it's not deadly enough. It has less than 2% mortality rate, it's only a little bit more than influenza, actually. So, unfortunately, people die of flu quite regularly. It's, I think, 600,000 a year die of flu. What happens is it's an upper respiratory tract infection. For most people, it's nothing more than it is nothing more for coronavirus than just a bad dose of flu. But for some people, especially if you're elderly or you have a weakened immune system through some other goal, and what's more, Ahmed and Hassan haven't. I don't know if they've been panic buying, but they have put a couple more in, which is nice. But they don't seem very worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I haven't bought any toilet roll at all lately. We have some new ones, which Ahmed and Hassan, of course, it's nothing to do with Israel either. No, it's nothing to do with Israel. Just for once, it's nothing to do with Israel. Israel actually has some things. Israel, if he loses his car keys, it's Israel doing it. Mossad stole his car keys. Yeah, definitely. So we have. Gone flop back again. Let's go to the top again. Where were we? I might not get through everything. Now, one thing I want to ask you guys: what do you want to bet that there's going to be a certain development? Now, apparently, there's no vaccine for coronavirus, unlike the swine flu, in which Roche, no, not Roche, it was who manufactured the swine flu vaccine? I can't remember, but they brought it out in 2009. They made 18 billion off the epidemic, off the pandemic. Roche made a fortune in Tamiflu. They manufactured Tamiflu. Now, what you want to bet, right? First of all, someone is going to discover or invent a vaccine. Secondly, Roche are going to come out with Tamicorona. Want to bet that's going to happen? Yeah. And when I think they've probably already done it, and they're waiting for the right moment to put it on the market. What concerns me is that everyone's going to go nuts as soon as there's a vaccine available. The government are going to be promoting vaccinations. Kids are going to be forced to have them at school. In some countries, they may even be like forced vaccination of isolated people and things like that. Especially in France, like I say, this state of emergency is still going on. Hello, Vince. Hello, Ben. How are you? And Darren and. Oh, Last Wave Dave used to be Neil Desperandum. Oh, right, Dave. Okay, I'll refer to you as Last Wave Dave. That's a good name. Zion is Masonic, says Diego. Oh, right, so it's kind of the same thing from your point of view, is it? Hello, nothing is as it seems. Tina Silver says there's a new Joe Rogan podcast where he interviews an infection specialist who explains how it's spread and how face masks and gloves are useless. I've not seen that, Tina. Now, Trevor, a third rail, he sent me a link. I just coughed, didn't I? Oh my god. All right, look, if I get it, I get it. I'm not worried. Diego Rivera, if I develop, strong symptoms and I'll dial 111, I'll get self-isolated. I don't want to put people in danger. I work for a number of old people. I don't want to spread it to them. My dad is 72. I don't want to spread it to him. He came round earlier and I told him not to come into the room. Simon Jandrol, hello. This coronavirus is sounding more freaky the more I find out about it. But on the positive note, I ordered Project Blue Book from HMV. Well done. I've got to get those DVDs. Yes, and I'll be doing reviews of the other episodes coming up. I will do that. Vince says, did I see Simon Holland's event 201? No, I haven't, Vince. Johnny K. Hello, Johnny. The Joe Rogan podcast was full of propaganda. All right, Johnny. Well, I'll check that out. Hello, Brian. How are you? It's a strain. I'm sorry. I know what you mean by strain. Yeah, that's a bit of a pun, isn't it? Firechild UK. Hello. It's a virus, not bacteria, Ben. I know that, Firechild. When I mentioned bacteria, I was referring to the masks. I know that because I've worn the mask that protects you from infection. I've been inside quarantine zones when I was at the hospital, and the mask, the paper surgical mask, is designed to protect people having operations from your breath and the bacteria in it. David Schultz, if I were reincarnated, I would wish to be returned to Earth as a killer virus to lower human population levels, Prince Philip. I remember him saying that, David, and do you know what? He's bloody still alive, isn't he? Oh, God, he even survived a frigging car crash. Do you remember my video about that? He survived a bloody car crash at 97, a Range Rover. Yeah. As I said, he's one of these old bastards who lingers on while the good people die young. Usual thing. Last Wave Dave says, I'm cleansing with IPA, cheap as chips, and they don't pay stupid devices for disinfectant. Oh, right. Oh, good. I understand that vodka is actually quite good against coronavirus, someone told me. I assume you can take it orally. I hope so. Lofty says it's a culling of the working class. Well, someone suggested they may be trying to cull the old folk. Yeah. The problem is everyone hates the white working class now, don't they? Do you remember my Brexit videos? So maybe they're trying to get rid of the old people who voted Leave. So for when they bring out the moves afoot to create like a rejoin movement. Steve071, hello Steve, how are you? Johnny K says it's completely fabricated, a way to control the world's populations. Well, Johnny, do you think maybe I shouldn't dial 101? I don't want to do that if they're going to cart me off to Porton Down or something. Nothing that seems cleansing with a Lagunitas IPA as well. Yeah. All right, nothing. I mean, as I said, the hand sanitizer, they sold out in the chemist shops, and there have been videos of queues of people in the chemist shops. Some supermarkets are now rationing access to various things, saying that people are only allowed certain numbers of certain things to try and prevent the scene we saw in Australia happening again. Oh yeah, Simon says he's talking about Project Blue Book Season 1. I know Season 2 is still in broadcast. Richard Kinzit says, this is real and could have been prevented. See the last Joe Rogan show. All right. Don't let a good crisis go to waste as far as civil liberty curtailment. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're talking about forcing people off sick from work. They're talking about forcing transport restrictions. In Italy now, they've basically... the whole place is under lockdown, which is why I feel sorry for the old wops. I think poor guys, and girls. Hello, Dallas Birmingham. Hello, Dallas. Steve says this is all just a fear tactic. It's just funny, people are responding with fear. Now, the truth of the matter is, if it hadn't been for the news, I wouldn't even know there was a coronavirus. If I catch it, it'll probably be no worse than a swine flu for me, probably. I'm not scared about catching it. I really am. Hello, Yakilites. Who says Miptoshiko? I don't know what that means. I don't know. Diego Rivera, swine flu and coronavirus are NWO scams. Yeah, well, they're certainly being used for that. I mean, swine flu. Ian R. Crane stuff on swine flu is really good. I went to one of his talks. Lofty says Steve Mumbling has infected you. Maybe he has. Maybe his vibes from the other side of the world have crossed the oceans and given me. Has Steve Mumbling got it, do you think? I reckon he has. Hugo, okay. Oh, no. Is it pausing again, Hugo? LiveSpec says it's buffering again. Well, I don't know what to do. I have already restarted the router. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. It really are they throttling my bandwidth, Claire? I don't know. It's bloody heck. Oh shit. I can't do anything about it. I've Dallas says, I'm feeling a tad feverish. I have a runny nose, so I'm not too worried about the coronavirus just now. So, if you start getting a cough, that's the thing, I think, anyway. Edwardian Lady, how are you, Edwardian Lady? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us. Much appreciated. Steve is buffering as well. I don't know what to do about the buffering. I really don't. I've already reset the router before I came on. I'm just going to have to hopefully get as much as I can this here. I mean, what I'll do is I'll start using DLive, at some point. Oh, bloody heck. Johnny K says Ebola was from China. I don't know. It was the African countries that got the worst of it. Well, the way China's trying to take over Africa, it wouldn't surprise me. Simon says, I agree, Ben. By the looks of the virus, we're all doomed. It seems that way. Jackie Cheeseman. Hello, Jackie. Hi, Ben. Lots of new strains of viruses blowing all over Europe from the Aral Sea in a former USSR lab for germ warfare. I've heard about that place. Yeah, it's not the same as Kapustin Yar, is it? That's like the Area 51 thing. But there is like a biowarfare stuff in Russia or Kazakhstan. I remember that, yeah. Hugo Rune says Sativa and Indica for me. Is that good? I've got like this stuff. It's like vitamin C. I'm taking that. I'm like having 2 of those a day. I'm supposed to have 1 a day. I've upped my dose to twice a day. That's actually what's in here. You just add it to water. It's very nice. Delis says the numbers coming out of Italy are horrific. Their death rate is higher than average. Oh my god. Bob33, hello. The folder is mad shit. Oh dear. Sorry to hear that. Tony Phillips 33 says that a Netflix documentary is coming true. Oh, which one's that, Tony? Firechild UK, quick calculation based on the figures published last week. Seasonal flu, 0.1 infected die. Corona, 3.4% die. Oh, right. So it's higher than seasonal flu. Yeah. I didn't know it's 3. I heard it was 2 point something. But it's high anyway. But it's not high enough for this to be a bioweapon. Claire says some of this was planned a decade ago. SGT report. That's a good channel, Claire. And InfoWars are doing a lot of this as well. Diego Vera says BS, fear porn, media lying. Yeah. Johnny K. Merkel's just there for her looks. Sue, hello, Sue Hayward Tonkin. Greetings. I had a friend skiing in Italy and they almost got stuck there. They managed to get back to Oz a day before Italy was closed. Well, I'm glad they did, Sue. I mean, have they had to be tested at all? Firechild says 3.4% estimate based on 20% of infection total. Therefore, let's assume 0.68%. This will likely also drop in the future, but as yet unknown. Oh, it's nasty stuff. I mean, it is, yeah. Oh, Delis says it's pandemic. Right, I've not seen that, but I have seen other documentaries. I very much recommend In Lies We Trust, the Hollywood CIA and Bioterrorism by Dr. Len Horowitz. It's over 3 hours, but it's worth it. It really is worth it. Death rate fake and low, says Diego Rivera. Death rate unknown, says Firechild. Tina says the masks are made in China. Steve071, Wuhan, China, 5G reaction symptoms. I've heard several people say this is something to do with 5G. I don't know that. I mean, I know that 5G is a bad thing. It's a very bad thing. But whether it's the cause of this, I don't know. Where are we now? Okay. Edwardian Lady says, I don't believe any of it. I wouldn't, Edwardian Lady. I would question everything when it comes to this. I don't know what's real or not with this. I really don't. But it's Firechild says the death rate is still unknown. Well, they are publishing death figures in the BBC, but Diego Rivera says they're lies. Says Diego Rivera. Tina says apparently all the IV bags are made in Belize, so the factory is now getting special protection. Oh. This is an industry. Some people are cashing in on it. There is a pandemic dividend going on. Pat Wright says lots of women in London wearing black hazmat suits, just the eyes visible. Oh, I think I know what you mean. That sounds like one of Boris's jokes. E.T. Hello, E.T. Phone home. It's all part of their agenda. Scare the population with Armageddon virus, so they demand the vaccination. Microchipped humans. Nihilist Lives Matter says Baxter accidentally released H1N1. Yes. H151, sorry. Ian talks about that. Yeah. Same with H1N1. That was released in Poland from a train. And so, well, this was after it appeared in China. As I was saying, it started in China. Firechild says deaths could be inaccurate depending on the country of origin. Well, yeah. Nothing says the local police caught one of 3 lawless Latinos here on Sunday. All right. 196 people have died in Italy in the last 24 hours, says Woody Black. IPA used disinfectant. Chips. Lofty says Steve Mumbling will now do a video saying Ben believes China created the virus to clear out the Hong Kong protesters. Oh, right. I'm sure he will love to misrepresent me. I don't say that. I suggest it's certainly, if that was one of the reasons, it certainly wasn't the only one. But it has cleared those protesters, hasn't it? Hello, Ronnie Barkey. Greetings. Nice to see you. Don't believe the media, says Israel Vera. Charles Scott. Hello, Charles. Hope we haven't got any skeptic clowns like Steve Mumbling. But Steve needs to be on his best behaviour. I did have to delete a couple of his comments. But if he's polite, I am happy to let him post and indeed answer his posts. Barney's Den says, oops, oh, we've got a load more comments here. Let's go back up. Where were we? What did Barney's Den say? Oh, do you think this is possibly an extraterrestrial attack? No, I don't. But the idea that viruses come from space is very interesting. I actually did was it an article or in UFO Truth, or one of my Zohar videos was about that. Yeah, and that was interesting. That was very interesting. But there's evidence to suggest the Spanish flu outbreak, that is the H1N1 worldwide pandemic, happened after a comet passed the Earth. Sponsored by Anthrax. Oh, God. Ronnie says £3,000 for patients to trial new vaccine. Oh, you must be bloody joking. I wouldn't do it for 100,000. Oh, no, it's not. Honestly, it's not worth it. Oh, yeah, Anthrax, Ronnie. And like I said, there's an industry going to cash in on this. But even in the midst of a stock market crash caused by this virus. Vince says Lou Rawls records have apparently sold out. Now, Lou Rawls is a soul singer. What kind of music does he or she create? Is it to do with disease and stuff like that? Nihilist Lives Matter says £3,000 for 2 weeks works out less than £10 an hour. Yeah, it's not bloody worth it. I mean, don't bother with it. And as I said, I wouldn't do it for any amount of money. It's not worth losing your health and getting getting cancer viruses and things inside you. It really is not worth it. Vitamin D, Tom. Yes, that's very good. Now, one of the reasons the flu season happens over winter in this country, they talk about the flu season, which is basically autumn and winter, and well, in this case, spring, because spring's bloody been miserable so far, is got to do with the depleted immune system due to lack of sunlight, and also low temperatures make the virus easier to spread. Now, how it actually changes now will depend a lot on the weather, because right now the weather's it's been bloody awful for about 5 months in this country, and it has hardly changed. It's still basically winter up north. The south of England has had a winter which is kind of an extended autumn, just wind, rain, mild temperatures. We've had no snow, a couple of days of ice, but nothing really, and much less than normal. It's been horrible. Firechild says this is the end of toilet rolls. We know it. Diego Rivera. Coronavirus predicted by the Simpsons and the Illuminati game cards, was it? Tina says I saw black chemtrails today. Tina, you sure? Because what you get, sometimes you get shadows of chemtrails on lower clouds. I mean, some chemtrails are black, but I saw one once. It turned out to be the shadow of a chemtrail on a lower cloud. But if chemtrails can cast shadows, they must be real. They're not just some kind of weird. There's not just some kind of, what's the word? Oh god, I'm getting buffering again. I don't know what to do. It must be maybe the router. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I've already reset the router to do this live stream. I've shut down all unavailable. Yeah, Tina's getting buffering as well. Katrina Barlow's getting buffering. I can't do anything about it. There must be something wrong with the router. David says the Spanish flu started in the States. It was troops who spread the flu, which killed 50 to 100 million. Oh, is it even more? 50 to 100 million. Yeah, people coming back from the war, people who were starved and they were hungry and their immune systems were depleted. It was awful. Steve says we're still in the cold season. Yeah, tell people it's coronavirus and get this current sheeple panic. Ian Batchelor, hello. Woody Black, I'm sorry the live stream's died. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go through your comments actually. Somebody said Woody Black says I'm off tomorrow. I'll be able to watch live. That's great. Someone else says great video. I loved it. Thanks. Richard Kinzet says working from home now for 2 days from my ballroom pants. Have a good time. Something to do with microwaves. Probably Dr. Judy Wood is writing a book about it more. Oh, shut up, metal centipedes. And Diego Rivera says stands up for me. Thank you. Dr. Judy Wood is Jewish, spelt J-U-I-S. It doesn't really matter if she is or not, Diego Rivera. You know I don't agree with you on all that. Now, one thing I want to bring up with you, there's a book called The Eyes of Darkness by Dean Koontz, a famous horror writer from the States. Now, this came out in 1981, and it contains this line here, the bug searching for a handle on it that the Chinese overlooked. Blimey, how about that? Yeah, that book is going to become a bestseller again after all these years. It's not in print, so people are going to have to, like... Nihilist says buffering. I blame Huawei. Hello, Stephen. I can't do anything about the buffering. I'm sorry. I've done everything I can do. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Cosmic Claire says, I see YouTube are taking countermeasures against Ben with the stream from. I was on Kev Baker's show last night. Absolutely fine. It's only when I try to do a live stream. So what I'm going to try and do is maybe get the router looked at. I'm going to try and they said they were monitoring it. I mean, if there's a problem with it, they can send me a new one. But there's other sister services I can use. There's like DLive. I'm going to try and work out how to use that. Hopefully, BitChute is working on its own live stream service. Oh, I just hope it can. I don't know if it'll keep working. I don't know. But Goonlove, hello, Goonlove. How are you? Huawei could, I don't know. It's Nihilist says I caught chlamydia from a YTube live stream or a toilet seat. All right, probably the latter, Nihilist. Are you the crafty Nihilist, by the way? ET says colloidal silver and zinc will cure any virus. Thanks. Hi, Brian. I'm not bad, thanks. Diego Rivera, if the coronavirus was real, Boris Johnson and the royals would be in their bunker. David says, David Schultz, COVID-19 Trojan horse for the New World Order. Well, they're certainly using it for that, aren't they? Tom James, hello. 22% of colds are a type of coronavirus. Yeah, I found out actually, the coronavirus is like a collective word for a whole series of viruses, and some cold viruses are coronaviruses. So yeah, it's this COVID-19. They're saying specifically COVID-19 is the epidemic we've got now with this particular strain. Hello, Video Master. Don't get Steve. I'm not going to get transmitted via eye contact. Oh, blimey. I'll try and. Oh, we'll try not to. Vitamin C garlic capsules. Yep, says Diego Rivera. Tom Chen, hello. Hello, Dave Altman. How are you? Nice to see you, mate. Video Master says, I want to self-isolate in a Swedish brothel. Oh, God. I don't think you get much. I don't think they give you that kind of choice, I'm afraid. Crisis. Never let a serious crisis go to waste. Yep. There's an opportunity to do the things that you could not do before. That's from Rahm Emanuel. Exactly. Yep, exactly. I'm glad it's not. For people, if it does buffer here and there, I'm glad Dave Altman says the buffer isn't bad. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll wear off. If not, I'm going to have to look into solving the problem. It's obviously a problem with my router, which it's weird because it doesn't seem to affect anything other than live streams. Darren says, it may be related. I suggest you look into the microbiologist who died in mysterious circumstances, either murdered, suicided, or bizarre, unlikely accidents. Yeah, accidents, exactly. It's not unlike Marconi, like Gabriel Feliz and Laurent Bonomo, these two microbiologists. They were brutally murdered in London in the wake of the swine flu outbreak. Yeah. We got 80 live specs that says 74 are watching. It's actually 80 now, which I think that is a record, actually. It is. Steve Palmer says, right. So it's buffering more than last. Yep, I don't know what to do about it, Steve. How long have you been talking about the coronavirus? 27 minutes? What's there to talk about? I've been talking for 45 minutes, actually, PSR. They need to be tied up under the shield tribunal, says Lime Specs. MI5 shields, yeah. Video Master says you can make an anagram from coronavirus to raccoon virus. That's right, Video Master, which is interesting considering that the Resident Evil films, which I talked about in my zombie movies, my zombie video, are actually set in a place called Raccoon City. I think that's very interesting. Diego Rivera, Corona is a military drill. Asteroid will hit the Earth or a fake asteroid. Well, we might have a way it bans things sometimes. Like it banned that Red Pill movie, which I thought was really bad. Richard Kinsit says, if COVID-19 was a Chinese recipient, we'd all be charged £2 delivery. Yep. It would all be made in sweatshops for kids working for 5p an hour. Yeah. Simon, the buffering seems to come and go, so I'm glad it's working for you at the moment. Hello, Clopite. Israel did it. Oh, yeah, Israel does everything, don't they? Yeah. PSR, tea made from fresh ginger, lemon, and honey with the frequency resonance of oxygen, which is why it causes asphyxiation, apparently. Oh, right. That certainly could explain why people are short of breath. And now we have Ravenhill and the mystery cult of Segalia X Cross 1968. Who has PSR04, cranberry juice boosts your hemoglobin. Oh, right. 5G coronavirus are links, says Clopite. I don't know. Thoughts? I don't know. 5G is a bad thing. I've not seen anything specifically to link it to coronavirus. Clopite, I haven't. Pat Riot, catch up later. Have a good show. Thanks, Pat. Dave Altman says it's not 5G. I've not seen anything specific, Dave, at all to link 5G to coronavirus. 5G is a bad thing. Coronavirus is a bad thing. They may be separate. Nihilist says 5G contains the number 911, which is a number. Coincidence? Don't think so. Yes. Just a coincidence, nothing to worry about, as David Icke would say. Hugh Jarsole says BBC pedos. Yeah. Disgusting people, aren't they? BitChute. Hello, BitChute. There's someone called BitChute here. Oh, I love BitChute. 30 billion borrowed from the so-called Bank of England to combat coronavirus. The borrower is servant to the lender. Yes, that's true. BitChute. Where are we now? Got to go up again. Oh, where are we? All right, I'm right back up here. There's comments piling in. Kenjiro Sanga says, hello. Hi, Ben. First time here. Hello, Kenjiro. Welcome. Paul Culliford. Ben, did you check out Dana Ashley on YouTube? Oh, yes. I couldn't remember. Oh, I can't remember what they said. PSR, 5G 60 megahertz, spinning O2 molecules. Hemoglobin can't pick it up, stops you breathing. All right. That's what's happening on the Diamond cruise ship. All right, because that's the quarantine ship, isn't it? Yeah, Andrew Munchkin. Hello, Andrew. Eskimos are raking in cash on this virus. I bet seal blubber will become a cure, won't it? Richard Kinsey. Bob Fleming is patient zero. Who is Bob Fleming? Is he like a sufferer? I'm sorry to hear that. Diego Ferreira. Use leaves if you run out of toilet paper. That's what the English Bigfoot does. Yes, and I even did that when I was camping, so it's not that bad, you know. Stephen Bliss. I know the video keeps freezing. I don't know why that is. It's something to do with my router. Kenjiro. Will WrestleMania still be on? Because people will go crazy if it's cancelled. Because you will go crazy. Oh dear. Who knows? I mean, I know that the Awakenings Manchester is on. David Schultz on YouTube. Coronavirus, new facts, the truth, deception, and vaccinations. Wuhan Del Bigtree interview. Do ghosts get the coronavirus? Says TK. Probably not. Hugh, it's not mine. It's not. It's. I don't know why it's buffering. Sorry, I've reset the router before I started the. I started the bloody thing. Steve 071. Ben, do you have plans for a skull experiment upload? Yes. In fact, someone suggested it was actually Jason Harrington who suggested I contact Skull Group, and I am going to get into that at some point. Yeah. PSR says I'm totally skeptic. Hysteria whipped out by the media having a LARP. Yeah. It really is. Roger Salscape. Hello, Roger. If they cancel an event, does it mean it must be true? Not necessarily. I mean, the decision to cancel events such as Awakening Manchester has got a lot to do, I think, space. Well, it's interesting the virus is coming from space. It's cold season in a month, says PSR04. Oh, it's cold season. In a month, we'll be sitting in the sun wondering what it was all about. Oh, I hope so. I can't bear this bloody wet, windy weather. It's horrible. It's really horrible. PSR, stock market up today, Dow up. All right, that wasn't reported in the media. Oh, is it recovered? Lofty says, hopefully, Ben, when the virus goes and gets a bit of nice weather, you'll do a part 2 with the spies in London. Yes, Lofty, I plan that, definitely. Nihilist, Lou Roll is being sold out because all the incels self-isolating. There's probably going to become some kind of like short version of self-isolating. It'll probably be Cell ISO or something like that. Something like Incel. Yeah. TK says, I heard from 8,000 in Italy, 5,000 in hospital on breathing equipment. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. It is. Maybe they're in quarantine. I don't know. I get flu all the time, Kenjiro. I think I might have it now. I don't need breathing equipment, TK, when I have the flu. I'm absolutely fine. King Trailblazer. Hello, King Trailblazer. Says, throw out your lie box and zero radio. Just enjoy quiet life. Yeah. The light box being the television. Yep, just stick to good old YouTube videos like this one. PSL. 6-backer DBL quilt aloe. Right. Infused bog rolls. Anyone willing to swap for a holiday home in North Italy? Claire says, there was a very convincing documentary some years about the so-called Spanish flu and how it was more likely to have come from the livestock pens in northern France. Yeah, certainly there's no evidence to suggest it came from Spain, despite its name. It's very interesting. Dave Altman says buffering's not that bad. Thanks, Dave. Hopefully it will improve. Kenjiro says Nirvana predicted the virus back in the 90s. When the light's out, it's less dangerous. Here we are. Oh, right. Entertain us, feel stupid. And that's right. It's from that song, isn't it? Smells like a teen spirit. Yeah. Ian Batchelor, hello. Nadia Armin, hello Nadia, hello Ian, welcome. Duppy Hunter, welcome. Stop complaining about the stream. All right, well I'll thanks Duppy. There's nothing I can do about it now, so we'll just have to make the most of it. Ben says, I'm glad you made it out of Hull alive, not a pleasant place. Well, yeah, other people said, Hull's got a dark energy. I found it all right actually, Hull. I'm just going to refill my tankard with dragon juice. I'll have some. I'm gonna have some more vitamin C actually. Like I said, I've only had one dose today, so I'm gonna have another one. Very simple to take. You just get some water. It doesn't have to be a glass this big. You drop it in there, soluble. It just fizzes and dissolves. Before you know it, you have vitamin C. You had 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and it's very tasty. Actually, it's very nice. Ben Grizzly. Yeah. Nadia Admin. Nadia Armin says, why no black people in the United States or around the world have gotten sick from this coronavirus? Is that true, Nadia? Why? I don't know. Why would... Is this... Are you saying this is some kind of... one of these things that they talk about in Project for the New American Century, where there are like racially targeted viruses that target specific genotypes? I don't know. I mean, there's been no. I've seen no statistics about what color people are who get the virus. I mean, there's no reason to anticipate that black or white people would get it in any different amounts. I mean, I know that black and white people are susceptible to different illnesses. I know that white people are more likely to get malaria by far. Black people get this thing called sickle cell anemia, which is like a congenital problem. But I don't think viruses like this affect people differently. CK has been on the floor laughing. All right. Nihilist says, because they use washcloths. What, black people use washcloths? Oh, right. I don't know. I mean, black people sort of wear bandanas and things more, don't they? They tend to have more jewelry. In America, certainly, you know. Steve says, any updates on the release of Capel Green, Ben? Oh, I wish I could tell you more. I mean, there's things I can... It's going to be great. I mean, there's things I'm not allowed to share with you. It's just, when I was in Hull, I learned so much about the production. It is coming soon, but it's going to be better than we thought. And I've been sworn to secrecy on some things, but please do. It's going to be great, Steve. I don't have a date yet, but it will. I'll let you know. We're going to get a couple of months' notice, definitely. BitChute says, I can't believe how greatly life has improved since Brexit. I mean, when I was in Hull, obviously there's still a lot of shops shut. The Brexit dividend takes a while to kick in, but it's the fact that it happened has been a major morale booster. It really has. I feel happier since Brexit happened. A lot of other people I know do, especially with the way the negotiations are going at the moment, which I've written about on Hapanmo Voice. Hugh, I'm going to contact my ISP about this because it's the second time this has happened. I don't want, like you guys, missing out on live streams. Affecting black people. Because if I don't see why that would follow. This doesn't seem to be a racially specific virus. I mean, there's been cases in Africa, there's been cases in China, Europe. I mean, it's been everywhere. I mean, Uganda, which is mostly black people, they've got like quarantine in the airport, like I was explaining. You have to be tested if you're going to enter the country. Is it American black people specifically? I don't know. Oh, really, Claire? It hit buffering just as I was quoting a comment of how YouTube were throttling me. Oh, YouTube, you're messing me around, aren't you? Yes, you are. BM 2018, hello. I watched that Anglo-Saxon mission thing from Bill Ryan. It was interesting. I can't remember it all now. Pork Chop, hope you're well. I'm in Tampa, Florida. Hello, Pork Chop. Stay safe, mate. BitChute, get well soon, David Dees. Has David Dees got it? David Dees is a brilliant satirical artist. He does loads of really good like memes and things. Hello, baby. Pumping your immune system, and then you have no problem with coronavirus. All right. Cosmic Claire. So he's quite good against infection. So, well, I mean, any excuse will do, you know? Where am I now? Up we go. Oh, up we go. Oh, there's a lot here. Okay, Pork Chop, head of the BSL in Winnipeg, died suddenly. Oh dear, at a HIV conference in Kenya. Well, that's ironic. So, the same laboratory kicked out Chinese researchers. Oh, really? In the summer? That's odd. Sue, I'm glad that your friends got back all right into Australia. I really am. They were in Italy and they got back to Australia. So I'm very pleased, Sue. Demon Links, hello. You're in Oxford. Hope you're feeling okay. They said earlier on London News that Oxford is a cluster. It may well be. It's certainly a clusterfuck. Well, it's apparently there's been about 8 cases in Oxfordshire, our county, whether it's in the city or not. I mean, if I get tested, I might end up with one of them, but I'm a bit dubious. I think I'd have to if I get the symptoms that are very like it, I'd certainly like self-isolate just to protect my clients and my dad. Nothing is in a Swedish brothel self-isolating. All right, well, I wouldn't have such luck, I'm sure. Mr. MT says, Ben, do you think the virus is man-made or organic? I'm afraid I just don't know, Mr. MC. I really just don't know. I switched to Windows 10. Actually, did I? Or was it the router? Hang on a minute. When did I do live streams? Hang on, let me just check when my last stream was. I did a live stream because I got the Windows 10. I'll just look up when I got the Windows 10. The last live stream was on the 12th of February. Now, I did a live stream before that. When was it? Was on the 4th of January. Now, that went fine. When did I get my new router? When did I get Windows 10? One moment, I'm just going to double check this because this is important. I've just opened up a new browser, so you might get some buffering now. 14th of January, right. That meant I didn't have Windows 10 for the Soleimani live stream, but I did have it for the Roswell Trilogy live stream. I had the new router. Oh, when was it? Either way, it could be Windows 10 or it could be the router. This doesn't sort of like filter them. Did you think it is a Windows 10 problem? I don't know. Pork chop. Maybe a bioweapon that was accidentally deliberately released. It's not deadly enough to be a bioweapon, pork chop. It may be a kind of tracer, like just made to make people like that thing in San Francisco in 1955. The virus they spread there, or the bacteria they spread there. Nadia Armin says, this dude is a con artist. This dude is a fraud and a scam. Are you talking about me, Nadia? Explain why, please. Could you explain why? Because that's an accusation. Do you have any evidence? TK said, we already know, Nadia. Oh, TK, do you... Yes. Oh, Bob Fleming from the Fast Show. Right. Oh, I know the chap. Yeah, I know. What was it? There's Richard Williams, Paul Winehouse, and... That's funny, that, yeah. TK, check your memory usage and disk stats. Right. I'll just start Task Manager. 54% memory, 67% disk. I've got Google Chrome open. Windows Explorer is open, but it's not. It's using for 21.5 megabytes of memory. What have I got Windows out open for? Background processes. Close a few of them, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to do anything that'll mess up the stream. Emran Hussein Mithu. Hello, Emran. Hey, dude, I have a question. To a more by 9-1. Oh, God. Nothing says, I saw a cruise ship parked in Oakland, California on Monday. Oh. However, it was in the harbor. That's probably slightly less out of the ordinary, unless Oakland, California is not a cruiser terminal, because this may be another one there. This may be another one they are, what's the word? That they are quarantining. Last Wave says, is anyone still paying the TV license and funding the enemy? Oh, God, I hope not, man. Don't forge your own shackles. Xemfort TV, hello. Says, hello, vaccine. Hello. Go vaccines here, Xemfort. R.H. Simon, I like the Fast Show, yeah. Eman Padima, hello. I hope you don't buy the bioweapon idea. It's not. It's a hoax. I knew HIV was a scam, but after this obvious hoax, I doubt any pathogenic viruses exist. Well, flu exists, cold exists, but I don't know what to make of that. So, the HIV thing. Watch Len Horowitz. That's very interesting. Also, there's that. There's two ideas for HIV. One, that it's harmless and AIDS is caused by something else, and the other is that AIDS is as a bioweapon. I don't know. Which it is. Zemfort, there is no vaccine for coronavirus until somebody decides, basically. Well, I'm sure there is, but they're just waiting to decide to put it on the market. Nihilist says vodka and orange is a good source of vitamin C. That sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? Pork chop. Liberia has a ton of cases, along with the Democratic Republic of Congo. Well, they're mostly black people. Last Wave says even Lineker has said it's immoral to prosecute for license evasion. Well, he's such a bloody Ramona cuck that he's the highest paid BBC presenter. You know, he's like a multi-millionaire. He's on like 20 million a year or something. Yeah. Duppy Hunter says first time I've seen you, Ben, was with Richard D. Hall. You were burning in the census form. Great stuff. Yeah, Duppy, I enjoyed that. That was fun. I love being on Richard's show. Richard, as I said in previous videos, he makes a lot of mistakes, but he's a good guy. He's generally a good guy. Cosmic Claire says, if it is a bioweapon, it could be targeted on certain genetic groups. Han Chinese are very genetically homogenous. Well, it's true that DNA and viruses are specifically detailed. That's why viruses rarely affect something more than one species. So you have like this FIV, feline immunodeficiency virus, that causes AIDS in cats, which is different from HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, if indeed it does. So, but the more, I think, because they are they're not inbred, because, I mean, let's face it, man, there's, how many of them are there? 2 billion? I mean, there's a quarter of the people in the world, basically, are Han Chinese and actually live in China. So they're not inbred by any means, but they are, I think they are, what's the word? Ethnically, yeah, they are, they're of a single ethnic stock, or I can't remember what the word is. It's awfully politically correct, isn't it? Nihilist says sickle cell is an evolutionary reaction to malaria. That would explain, I think, why black people suffer from malaria a lot less. I mean, this is one thing that the cultural Marxists always get wrong, because they say slavery is caused by evil white people being evil like white people always are, when actually slavery is something that everyone in the world has done, sadly. And it was actually white people that were the first people to abolish slavery. White Christians from Britain and the United States were the first people to abolish slavery. But the slavery was actually a big business in Africa among the Africans themselves. It was Presently who was finally he's finally popped off. That bastard has finally gone. His family made a fortune out of it. Lime Specs. I remember that. Duppy seems like ages ago. Duppy and Lime Specs are conversing. Oh dear, up we go again. Kenshiro says on the Sun website, it's a story about Italy anchor left to die. Italy and anchor trapped at home with coronavirus. Sister's corpse for 2 days while being forced to self-isolate. Oh, actor. Oh dear. So this person was just left at home to die. Well, you didn't take him to hospital. Now, TK, I'll check and see if there's something I can do about it. It doesn't. It only affects live streams. It literally only affects live streams. I don't have a problem with Skype. I don't have a problem being on with Kev Baker. Or I don't know what it is. I really don't. Eamon says no one's caught this fictional virus. It's a psyop. Well, that's a possibility. Yeah, it is. Right. Well, in that case, Cosmic Reason, you will get different levels of infection with different people of different colors. Yes, you will. Ben Grizzly says, while in Hull, was there any talk about the 10-foot-tall humanoid spotted to cross the river in Lincolnshire? Yes, Ben. Yes, it was Mike. Was it Mike? What was his name? He talked about it. Not Paul Sinclair. Was this other guy, a local paranormal researcher. TK, unless you would ring Tetley T because your cat isn't working. Dr. Jackie F. Johnson says, I'm in isolation. Oh, are you, Jackie? Well, are you, Dr. Johnson? I hope you'll be all right. I hope you don't get too lonely. Guy Wilson says, Israel had a couple that docked on the virus on a ship which docked in Japan. No word about their health ever. Well, there you are, Guy. So there you are, Diego Vera. See, Israelis are getting it too. Right, DK says it's a process to keep starting up and using memory, which doesn't leave enough for the stream, so it skips. I wonder what that is, TK. Is it something to do with Windows 10? I'll try and what I'll do is I'll try and do a systems restore, a system update. Right, last week, Paul Sinclair and Chris Turner, please, Ben. Steve, I'm going to do it. It's coming up definitely. I did do a brief interview with them in the last Awakenings video. Yeah, it's I tried the TK. I tried the thing with Control Alt Delete. I tried it. What am I looking for anyway? I'll try opening it again because it says memory 55%, disk seems fluctuating between 9 and 10%. I'll tell you what. Let's just monitor that CPU 21%. We could monitor that to see if it changes while this buffering. I don't know. Pork chop, cheers all. Got to run. Okay, see you, chalk chop. Take it easy. Adrian, hello. TK, let me connect into you. That sounds a bit sexy. I don't know, mate. I don't connect all the time very regularly. Anyway, it's now on the discs. Disk is fluctuating. It says 5%, 4%, memory 54%. I don't know what I can shut. If there's anything I can shut to try and cut it down, I could try and what's going on? I'm still got the same antivirus and everything. Microsoft Word's not using much. Task Manager itself is using quite a bit. So I'll just shut Task Manager. Hello, Vrillon. How? Oh, I'm very sorry. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. He's so good. Is it an SSD disk? Says TK. I don't know. It's the same hard drive I had before I put in Windows 10. Let's have a look. Hang on. Okay, to this PC. Local disk properties. Local disk file system NTFS. Capacity, right. For the nights, I haven't got any Pornhub tabs open. Cheeky. I don't do that. I mean, I might have them at some point, but not when I'm doing a live stream. No. Claire says Brave is a very economical browser. Maybe I should try that. Unfortunately, I was using. You see, it won't let you use Opera because my primary browser is Opera, and YouTube won't let me use it. So I've got Internet Explorer as well. Maybe I'll try another browser. Maybe that might work. TK, I'm glad the memory sounds okay. Maybe something else. I'll try and eliminate what might be causing. Oh, I'll try the honey tea and ginger PSR. Arctic gear, yes. So I'd love to join you, Guy. I really would. He's going to the wild land of the Arctic. Yes. Adrian listens to old shows on YouTube. I do. The stuff you get on YouTube is so much better than anything on the bloody lie box. It really is. Right. Charles Scott says Nadia. It's not Ben. It's Steve Mumbling who's a fraud. Right. Who's a fraud? Right. You are. Okay. Pretending to be a skeptic when he's clown clueless chump. All right. Thanks, Charles. I mean, well, I think you're being a bit too hard on Steve, but not completely. I mean, I don't think he's a fraud, but he is. I think he is sometimes a clown and clueless, definitely. And I love making reply videos to him. It's just I can't resist it. TTFN PSR. Bye bye. And Real Honor says BBC will be just as fun, just a funny memory soon. Claire says Sticks Hexenhammer 666 reports that it's spreading in Lagos, Nigeria. Oh yeah, it could be. That's a big. Nigeria is a huge country with a population. It has like a population. It's currently about half that of the USA, and it's growing. Lagos, is about 12 million people. It's about twice the size of London, I think. So yeah. Oh, I hope they're all right. I really do. I hope they're all right. Deborah Bowers. Hello, Deborah. How are you? Been a while. Yeah. Diego Vera says, Corona means crown. Will it end up killing the Queen? That would be an Illuminati, one of Illuminati's sick jokes, wouldn't it? Yeah. But then none of them are immune. I mean, look what happened to old Nicholas Romanov, the Tsar. Shot in a cellar, yeah. I mean, they will sacrifice their own if they have to for the agenda. I mean, the killing of the royal family in Russia was part of their. Well, I don't know if it was a direct result of the plan, but they did plan to set up the Soviet Union. That was an Illuminati creation, and of course, if the Tsar was in the way, so I mean, I don't know if they intended to kill him, but they certainly intended to dethrone him. Hello, Trevor. Trevor from Canada. Trevor is my co-host on Third Rail Radio. So, hello, Trevor. Deborah Boas says, strange the elite want kids under 10 and under. I'm an American and do not trust their new virus shots. That's all. At all like that, because it's loaded with cancer viruses and all kinds of things like that. Just check out Dr. Len Horowitz, the CIA, Hollywood, and bioterrorism. In lies we trust. E-Man says, I beg to differ re theories about HIV. Well, I've only suggested two of them. I haven't actually promoted one. You didn't mention the one supported by the most evidence, which is that it doesn't exist. See Stefan Lanka and the channel Question Everything. I have. Is he the guy who did that House of Numbers, E-Man? Because I did watch that, and it's very interesting indeed. So, I mean, I did mention that, actually. Deborah, kids under 10 are being easier to control and use, and they're constantly struck by everything, medical, propaganda-wise, things like that, definitely. This is why when they tried to fingerprint my daughter, I wouldn't let them at school. They tried to fingerprint my daughter. They weren't even going to tell us. You can imagine what I said to that. BitChute, slavery's been abolished. No, they just exchanged the whip for debt. Good point, BitChute. Yes, they have indeed. It's just changed its name. A-Lab's new facility. Are you okay, Ben? Oh, A-Lab, welcome. I am a bit under the weather, actually. I think I might have the dreaded CV. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I have a bit of a cough and I feel flu-like. I'm not scared of this, but I'm staying away from my dad because I'm worried about him. My daughter's an adult. She's 25. She's an adult. Last Wave Dave says, Black Africa has never industrialized because they've never had the mindset. Without the West, everyone would still be. We could get into very controversial areas to do, like with the bell curve and stuff like that, and I have watched it. I have read it. But I don't know. I mean, I am interested in people like Michael Tellinger, who's discovered like ruins in Africa, which suggests that there was a high culture there at some point. And indeed, there's evidence to suggest they crossed the Atlantic, because in South America, there are stone statues which distinctly look like black people. These are Negroid faces you see in the Olmec civilization. So I don't know if that's the case at all. I don't know. But, I'll trigger people if I go into too deep about that. E-Man says, as for colds and flu, we get run down and detox. Yeah. Well, I don't know, E-Man, are you saying that it's something you can't catch? That it's just something that comes up? It's not a transmittable disease? Because, I mean, I've been with people who get with colds, and I get it. Diego Vera, I'm going to get off with my mistress. Coronavirus is never going to stop me getting my leg over. Okay, Diego Vera, but please, if you do happen to come down with the Simpsons, please think of her. You know, she might not want your diseases. And of course, there's worse things you can get from coronavirus, isn't it, Diego Vera? Virulent Aura will be all right with coronavirus because wet wipes can decontaminate Novichok, does it? Like the Skripal's got that thing that came from Russia, allegedly, although it actually came from Porton down the road. David Schultz, at this point in time, the world, slavery is never more prevalent. Yep, there are, and BitChute says correct, there are more slaves in the world today than at any other time. I mean, most of them are in India, and they are actually, there's the number of slaves in India actually is about 100 million, which exceeds the UK population. But it's oddly enough, it's not white people doing it. So I don't know how the SJWs actually rationalise that. I don't know. Virulent Aura, Amazon will rule the earth soon. They already do, don't they? Diego Rivera, according to the media, coronavirus could come and go over the next 2 years. It'll probably end up being like a seasonal thing, which people get used to. Vrillon, I'm sorry, it's buffering. Yeah, I know chat is 10 to 15 minutes ahead of my live because ALAB, it's because there's questions ahead of me. I'm getting through them, you know. There was no lead off in this one anyway. Vrillon, I'll try using. Maybe I'll try doing it with Internet Explorer. That might work next time. Owen, hello, Owen. How are you? Something to do with that? I don't know. I know I've been shadow banned. Owen Marshall, media doesn't tend to put age of corona victims. It seems primarily old people with existing health problems. Werther's original confused with Seafits. Oh, that's 30. It's odd, that, isn't it? Buffering on the interesting comments. I don't know. When the recording comes out, I don't know how much of what I'm saying right now will end up on the recording. I don't know. E-Man, do you know that the same proteins that are the markers of a virus are produced by our own cells under stress? Yeah, E-Man, yeah, I do get ill. I mean, this is very much part of me. I do get ill. My psychological state often causes physical symptoms in me. And these could be things such as the psoriasis I used to suffer from. I used to get stressed out and I could feel it burning. It was like coming up. It's like I'd look at my skin and I could see it literally in real time flaring in video. Diego Rivera, Mansu Musa was the richest man on earth in the 14th century. He was from Mali. Oh, right. So he was the Jeff Bezos of the 14th century, was he? Nothing says into Africa or rather out of Africa, out of Australia. Oh, the good movies, those. Anyway, Jimmy Jenkinson, hello. I can't stop betting. Oh, I can't stop what? Belting out Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin songs. Doctor has disguised me with crooner. Oh, Jimmy. Doctor has diagnosed me with coronavirus. Very good, Jimmy. Very good. The doctor has diagnosed me with coronavirus. I keep belting Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. I hope that doesn't buffer that bit. 420 Flower Child. Hello, welcome, Flower Child. E-Man says, I'm interested in the race IQ question. Everyone's opinion seems political, so it's hard to make sense of it. I think the differences could be down to poor nutrition and poor sanitation. Possibly, E-Man, yeah. I mean, I've not looked into it in detail, actually. I know that these are averages and they're not absolutes. For example, you get stupid people and geniuses in all countries. You know, it's just different proportions. You know, Steve says, Mr. Ben Emlyn Jones, when will the truth defeat the deceptive liars and change reality for good? Well, Steve, I think it's happening right now. I think that is what this video is about. Hugh Jarsel says, ironically, they just cut you off in the interesting comments. Yeah. YouTube 4i Peter. Yeah. It's it could be something like, I mean, YouTube are bloody awful what they do, you know, Hugh. They are bloody terrible. They just do it willy-nilly. I mean, there's several channels that are gone and it looks like somebody in the office just had a bad day and they just sort of like got rid of his channel, people like that. Darren Retro says, I read that John Travolta had suspected coronavirus, but it turned out to be Saturday Night Fever. You're in good form tonight, ladies and gents. You really are. You're in very good form, I must say. I don't want to destroy the universe as it happens. Oh dear, let's just have a look at our budget. I'm just going to get rid of some of these pages because it may help with the... I'll just find it again. I'll get rid of that. All right, misinformation. I won't go into this. This is misinformation regarding the 2019-20 coronavirus pandemic. Oh God. Oh, Sam Hyde. I saw that. I'm not going to go through that. It's just loads of stuff there. Get rid of that. Okay, so I'll put in coronavirus. And it comes up here. Here we go. There's loads of stuff, and there's like entire segments on coronavirus here. Coronavirus overdue, United Kingdom. Gov.uk advisory information. World Health Organization advice to the public. Q&A. Coronavirus overview. This is all the first hits you get on Google. You get like a special Google segment all about it, which seems to be the kind of thing. Anyway, where are we? Oh, email says I'm suggesting that flu and colds aren't infections. All right. Well, it's not due to a virus. It could be a socially triggered thing, or even telepathically. Maybe. Nothing as it seems. Staying alive. I hope so. Owen Marshall, do you think they just jump on events like coronavirus to push an agenda, or do you think it was released on purpose? It could be either, Owen. The effects are the same. They will use it. They will take advantage of it. Blah, 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 blah. Diego Vera, coronavirus hoax. We're living in one world government. Anyway, I'm getting tired, guys. I'm going to have to stop soon. Oh, it was not natural and man-made. It's non-existence. Okay. That, again, is a possibility. Tim Alf. Hello, Tim. Finally caught a live stream. Welcome. E-Man says, Hollywood movies aren't likely to give you much truth. Steve says, check out Russian vids. He will show you on the bees on coronavirus. Vrillon says, Edge of Wonder. That's where I get my coronavirus info. They're good, Edge of Wonder. Huge arsehole. Lots of UFOs over Wales, including black triangles, orange orbs, and face planes. Is that right now, Hugh? 30 RT had fun. Thank you, Ben. You're welcome. 30 RT. Diego Vera says BBC Newsnight had a whole section dedicated to attacking conspiracy theorists over coronavirus. That doesn't surprise me at all. It really doesn't. Oh, they're awful, aren't they? A living being says, go and get some rest, Ben. Oh, I'm going to call it a night. We've been going for an hour and a half, but I'm really tired. And as I said, I think I might have it myself. I've got something that's making me feel flu-like. So if it's all right with you guys, I think I'll just go back to the news and see what's there. All right, so go to the live thing on coronavirus has stopped. Coronavirus confirmed as a pandemic. Let's have a look. Any new stuff on here? Top stories, biggest daily rise. UK cases reached 460. Well, maybe 461 now. It's increased 13-fold. A video circulating in Iran shows a morgue in the city of Qom full of dead bodies. Oh my God, I hope that's not true. Thousands of cases confirmed in Iran, which has left hospitals struggling and staff struggling. Oh my God. This is one of several makeshift hospitals. It's like a tent with trolleys in. A video circulating in Iran shows a morgue in the city of Qom full of dead bodies. Oh my God. It's the Nadine Dorries of Iran. And there's this image here of people wrapped in black in what looks like a hospital ward. It seems like Iran has been particularly badly hit. So I'm very sorry, I really am. I hope you'll be all right in Iran. I really do. Okay, so where we are now. E-Man says, protests over pollution in Wuhan. They rolled out 5G. Okay. Hugh says, UFOs have a connection to the mind. I will, Steve. I'll get some sleep. Night-night. Night-night, Luke. See you, Vrillon. Night-night, 30R. Cheers, Duppy. Good night, BitChute. Vrillon says, hospital porters unite against population control. Yep. Nihilist. Aren't dead bodies typically kept in morgues? Yes. I mean, but this seems to be a makeshift one in a ward. Like, very often, if we have a large number of deaths at once, we can't store them all. This happened at my hospital, and we would have to put them to one side in a room, like just lay them on the floor for a bit until we can move them out and find a space for them. For the tech problems, I really do. I'll try to get them sorted. I really will. All the best. Bye-bye.